We know that Prime Minister Trudeau has said that his office has been looking at outcomes. What could happen if Hillary Clinton wins? What could happen if Donald Trump wins? Have you been having any conversation with the Prime Minister or his office, or what the possible scenarios could be depending on which candidate wins?
I don't talk about which candidate could win because I think that's premature. By the way, we're going to know that here very shortly tonight, and we can begin tomorrow starting to talk about transition when the election campaign will be over, and we can then begin working on transition, and then the new president will begin selecting his or her cabinet, and you'll get some signs as to what path they go on governing, and governing will start on January 20th. But I do think that there's a great opportunity for Canada because, early days in a new administration in the United States or a new administration here, there's typically an early interaction between the Prime Minister and the President, whether it's a trip or some type of interaction. So why not use that early interaction to try to put some scores on the board, to have some wins for both countries bilaterally, and really think through to make it a meaningful meeting. And so that would be the only thing that we would begin talking about once a candidate is selected, and start thinking through, is a visit going to take place and what kinds of outcomes we'd like to drive from that. And I look forward to working with the Canadian government very closely to see if we can do some things together to really help both of our countries out.
Now, one thing you mentioned is change, and we know that relationships can change after an election. We saw it here in Canada with the Stephen Harper administration. Things were a little bit chillier than they are now with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Barack Obama. What changes tomorrow when presumably there is a new president?
So first of all, we should just pause a minute and take some stock as to, during the Harper government and the Trudeau government, U.S.-Canada trade with the United States was the largest for both nations. We worked together. Energy trade was the largest energy supplier to the United States outside of our own energy supply. We worked together culturally. We worked together internationally on coalitions in dealing with Daesh in the Middle East, or NATO, or fighting Ebola, or doing all these things. That did not change from Harper to Trudeau. I believe from Obama to whoever it is, Canada will continue to be one of our very best friends, our largest trading partner, our most significant ally that we work with in this region, protecting North America together and doing all these things. What will change is a new relationship. And a new relationship will be developed between the Prime Minister and the President. It's a new person. But that provides also great opportunities to explore new ways in which we can work together.
And we'll certainly be following those very closely. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Ambassador, tonight. And Peter, one thing I should say that the House isn't sitting this week, so not a lot of MPs are in Ottawa, but we did spot in the crowd just a short time ago Environment Minister Catherine McKenna. So she is here. She, of course, is from Ottawa. So hopefully we'll go and catch up and check up with her. But as Rosie had mentioned, that it's been pretty quiet from the Prime Minister's office, as well as from ministers whenever asked about what's going on with the election in terms of, something happens in the U.S. and we ask the Prime Minister about it. He's been very clear to say that that he's willing to work with whoever's in power. So it's unsure if Catherine McKenna will chat with us tonight, but we're certainly going to try.